Trendy eyebrows are surely good to look at, but different faces have different features, sometimes. This means putting big, bold and trendy eyebrows also need artistic skill, somewhat like picking dresses. Most of us don't have that much time for that. We have several other things to attend to. That's exactly why it is good to turn to microblading to get the job done, but before booking an appointment, thinking twice is needed to enhance the fleek. Microblading fades though, but because it is between the long-term tattooing and short-term daily eyebrow makeups and patches, it can follow the trend. Maybe it's expensive, depending on your location. Still, this option may be the best for that pair. There are some other sides to look at when deciding on your own to look like those girls in the previous fashion magazine. Have you asked yourself about these things before you decided? Here are some things that will help you decide to trim down the options on your head. 1. Not everyone is suitable to get microblading. Shocking question? If you are pregnant or nursing, sorry, avoid microblading. If you have sensitive skin, please endure what you'll go through. It will take longer to heal. If you have doubts, don't hesitate to ask a physician. There are a few contraindications that may require a doctor's note in order to perform the treatment. A couple of examples where a doctor's note would be needed are cancer, hemophilia, and hepatitis. Your skin will be pierced, it's not a small decision. 2. Check the qualifications of your brow technician. If you already know someone, it's not a hassle anymore. If not, it's not hard today. Find the best salon near you and the technician who can make the best of you. Remember, you get what you pay for. To get a skilled professional, you may have to wait a while for your appointment and pay a fair amount to get it done. Set aside a lot of time for the treatment, but don't worry, the large majority of the appointment is spent measuring. Look at their clients' before and after pictures, then try to match your facial features with their clients'. You'll grasp what you're gonna get. Microblading technicians are artists, not magicians. Still, they also want to do their job well done. That's why if you love the results, be proud of who made them. 3. Results will vary depending on your skin type. It's not 100% guaranteed you'll love the result. If you have dry skin, the final look may appear more defined. If your skin tends to be oily, it may appear more blended instead. Microblading artists also use pigment versus ink. Pigment has a thicker consistency, while the ink is more watery in texture and tends to have more staying power. The most pigment will last in the skin between 1 to 3 years, keeping in mind different skin types and the use of skincare products. There is no spilling under the skin, which leaves the strokes fine and crisp. Naturally, the pigment will exfoliate out of the skin over time, causing the pigment to lighten. I love my new lines. I wanna have them forever. The treatment lasts from 1 to 3 years, depending on care and maintenance, and depending on where you go. OMG, what happened to my brows? I hate them. If it's about pitching, just don't scratch it. The scabs have to properly heal, and scratching will disrupt the process. If it is about what it looks like, wait about 1 to 3 years. 4. You will need to prepare yourself before microblading. Your skin will be pierced and inked. No wax or self-tan on or near your eyebrows, aspirin, blood thinners like alcohol which can erode the ink, exfoliants or any irritating treatments. At least a week before. You may not love the result, and you may have to still fill in some parts of your brows with makeup, so make sure you anticipate that. 5. There are things that you'll go through during the process. First, there is typically numbing cream applied to the area before the procedure to minimize discomfort, but is almost painless, followed by a liquid anesthetic. Expect it to be uncomfortable and even sore once the cream wears off at home. The most agonizing part of the procedure is choosing your brows. The majority of the lengthy session is actually spent on you choosing your perfectly perched points. The microblading procedure is timely and meticulous in order to choose the best customized shape for you. That's right, it's a customized process. Microblading artists pay incredible attention to detail, as these results will show on your face for, potentially, years to come. Think of this step as the creative consultation, where you get to choose the shape, color, curve, and definition of your brows. After this, you undergo the initial microblading procedure. 2 to 3 hours is a long time to be under the gun. Luckily, you won't hear the whirring of traditional tattoo guns or have to deal with any painful ink scars. The process is relatively easy and painless. Eyebrow tattoo is done with a motorized device, whereas microblading is done using a handheld tool, also known as a pen, used to simulate hair strokes in the brow. Microblading is the process of implanting pigment into the basal membrane, which divides the epidermis from the dermis layer of the skin, to create fuller-looking brows. Although it's not as permanent, the process of microblading is similar. Small cuts are made into your eyebrow, they are filled with ink, and then the excess is wiped away. It's a two-part process, and it's crucial that you follow through with the second step. This follow-up is necessary. Depending on where you go, it may be an additional cost, but you can't skip out. A follow-up appointment is really important for touch-ups and making sure that not everything has healed correctly and is looking its best. It is completed 4 to 6 weeks after the initial session. As your skin heals and a new layer of skin forms, the original pigmentation fades significantly. The touch-up session is used to go over the penned lines and make any alterations or color adjustments as needed. The two-part process ensures you love your new standout brows and that they last. 6. Microblading aftercare is a crucial part to get the best results. Basically, don't try to change the look. You are already ready to show off their new brows. Initially stronger in color, your new brows will soften in 2 to 3 weeks. You do not have to hide from the world after your service. There is no downtime for the looks from the session to the red carpet. Many women claim to not touch their brows at all in the months following the microblading, while some women still tweeze, pluck and fill their brows in after the procedure. Don't scratch or wet your eyebrows. Avoid excessive sweating. Be easy on the gym. You can't also wash your face. You have to wait at least a week or so to go back to washing your face properly, so makeup wipes are going to be your best friend. Also, lather on the SPF. Use a proper sunscreen after your treatment. Others may choose to routinely visit their technician to touch up their brows every 6 months for peak performance, but it is totally up to you. Your technician will advise you as well.